Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Nano Blitz podcast. It may sound a little different today. We're actually doing this episode in person at my house, and we have an exciting week of football today.
Yeah, we haven't done an episode together since the very first Nano Blitz
Technically,
podcast.
yeah, literally the very first one. If you go back on our Spotify,
we didn't even have a name.
We didn't even have a name yet. It just says we didn't even say Nano Blitz podcast or anything. But if you go back, you'll see that. And today, in terms of football, though. First, we're going to be going over our MVP ladder. We've been wanting to do this over the past couple of weeks, but we just sort of haven't really had time for it. But we're going to do that today. We're going to go over our top 5 picks for MVP currently with how the NFL is. And then we're going to do our usual game picks. So, Ethan, you want to start us off with the MVP ladder of your number 5?
All right. So, my MVP ladder is very fun. I'll tell you that.
I think mine is
number
probably...
5, I'll tell you this now, the audience. I have 5 players, obviously, and I have a non-quarterback in here.
That's very interesting.
And it's not number 5 either.
Ooh.
Number 5, we have the classic Patrick Mahomes pick.
Okay.
I know. Patrick Mahomes has thrown 10 interceptions this season. That, honestly, in this situation, the 10 interceptions, it matters, obviously, because the Chiefs are losing, which is crazy to me. But this season, he's still thrown up there with the top of the league in terms of touchdowns. And he hasn't been like how good he's been the past couple of years. And I know everybody's saying, oh, the league figured him out, all that stuff. I think it's more of this, I mean, and everyone knows this too. It's not like this is a hot take or anything, but the defense is just really... Patrick Mahomes seeing the field, if we can see a snap count, which I'll try to get up here in a second, but it doesn't look like I can. Patrick Mahomes, though, here's another way to tell. Patrick Mahomes has the most attempts in the NFL.
It's not even really close either. He leads it by about 20. Yeah,
only over Tom Brady, who the only reason he is on the field so much is because his defense is so good.
Yeah.
It's the opposite situation.
Also, Brady played one less game, though.
Yeah, Brady has played one less game. Mahomes is up there in terms of passing yards. His completion percentage is about middle of the pack, but that's what you get when you kind of have a starting quarterback. Completion percentage statistically isn't going to be great. He is number 3, or he's tied with Joe Burrow for touchdowns. Joe Burrow also another person who's thrown a bunch of interceptions this season.
Yeah, but says the touchdowns though.
Yeah.
He does have the touchdowns.
He does. So does Mahomes. Mahomes has 20 passing touchdowns, and 10 interceptions is not good by any chance, and that's why he's number 5. It's not like he's my number 1 still. Maybe if he didn't throw that many, but this is clearly a down year for Mahomes. But him being at 5 is still, I think that's a really good spot for him. Where do you have number 5?
I actually don't have Patrick Mahomes on my list, honestly. I'm going to start off my list of Josh Allen at number 5. A lot of people could say he's a higher. He struggled last game. I mean, after the last game, the question is, which Josh Allen am I talking about?
Yeah.
But Josh Allen, despite the struggle over the last game, which wasn't even terrible. I mean, he had 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not a good game, obviously. I mean, especially against the Jaguars. But you got to keep in mind, earlier this year, they were literally dominating people. They beat the Texans 40-0. They beat Washington 43-21. They beat Miami 35-0. All those games, Josh Allen put up amazing numbers. They beat Kansas City. He put up amazing numbers. Every game, pretty much, besides the game they just played, and maybe the first game where they lost to the Steelers. He's played outstanding. I mean, even in the Titans game they lost that by 3. He still threw 353 yards, 3 touchdowns with only 1 interception. He actually had 4 touchdowns in that game because he had a rushing touchdown as well. But yeah, Josh Allen, you could honestly make the case that he could be higher on this, honestly. Because, I know he's at number 5 for my personal list, but I could honestly see someone ranking him up to number 3 or 2, honestly. That's how good he's been this year.
See, that's very interesting because I'll tell you, Josh Allen's not on mine.
Really?
At all.
Wow.
Yeah. My number 4 is something that probably won't happen, but it is a delight just to not have a QB because MVP is such a quarterback award, really. Last MVP we've seen non-QB was Adrian Peterson, 2012. Could have been Derrick Henry this year, but of course, devastating injury. Probably would have been on my list if it weren't for
I think it could have been Derrick Henry last year, honestly.
It could have been this year also, though.
It could have been. He was on pace for... He already had 1,000 yards.
He's incredible. Almost. Scrimmage, probably.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp. Let's talk about him. He's sneaky. He's sneaky fast. No, he's
hard worker.
Yeah, he knows the game really well. Cooper Kupp is an incredible athlete, and that's overlooked. He is the league leader in receiving touchdowns. Not total touchdowns though, because that's James Conner. He is already over 1,000 receiving yards. He is basically on pace to break every record. He's on pace for about 150 receptions. Could go over 2,000 yards. That's actually possible.
It's especially with the extra game.
And he's on pace for about 19, 20 touchdowns, which is just ridiculous. Also, he's on pace for one of the best wide receiver seasons of all time. I'm not sure who you really take over him. And it's also the fact that he is winning games, but I don't even think he is the best front runner for MVP on his team.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
Is also
and we'll get into
ridiculous,
that later.
Which is also ridiculous. Oh, we definitely will. But Cooper Kupp, there's not much I feel like I need to say about him because he is a very talked about player right now because he is the best receiver in the league right now. If you're going by strictly this season, he might be the best receiver ever. Really, it's ridiculous this season, the season he's having, and people were expecting him to slow down, like how Mike Williams was in the beginning of the season, where Mike Williams was a touchdown machine,
just hasn't happened.
Crazy deep threat. Cooper Kupp's not slowing down. If he doesn't slow down, this guy
he'll break records.
Will be probably offensive player of the year.
Oh yeah, 100%. And my number 4, I have someone that I like to talk about a lot on the show. Someone I personally really like, Lamar Jackson, at my number 4. Lamar, I've talked about him a lot in the past. You guys know he's my fantasy quarterback. He does amazing. But a fantasy aside, look at the numbers this year. He has really evolved so much as a pocket passer. It really is. It's really amazing to see. I mean, look at week 5 against Indianapolis. They won the game 31-25. Lamar Jackson went 37 for 43, 442 yards and 4 touchdowns. That is an 86% completion percentage. That was the highest completion percentage by a player of 400 yards, over 400 yards ever. And even that aside, he's had such a good year both on the ground and in the air. He's really took some steps. I mean, I don't personally think he's going to win MVP this year just because of so much competition. But it's really nice to see him evolve. So I'm not going to say he's a better player. He probably is, but I'm not going to necessarily say he's a better player from when he won MVP in 2019. But he's kind of turning into a different type of player. Like, he's evolved into more of a true pocket passer, and he's shown that, sure, he can still run the ball at the elite level, but he doesn't have to run the ball 20 times a game to win. I mean, last game, that's a bad example, because last game he ran the ball 21 times for 120 yards, and they won. But in other games, if they don't have to rely on him as much in the ground,
they're okay.
They're still fine.
They're set.
He could pass for 450 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an 86% completion rate.
He has a great arm.
And to keep this in mind, his top 3 running backs are hurt. He literally doesn't have... He was supposed to have J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. He doesn't care. Lamar doesn't care.
Lamar, and I hate to say this, but he is the team's running back. He's the team's running back.
And that's not even an insult.
It's not an insult because he is up there. He's 9th in passing yards, which 9th whatever it's top 10, but he's also I think 6th in rushing yards. That's ridiculous.
It's
6th
insane.
in rushing yards. Lamar Jackson is a monster, and that is why he's my number 3 for MVP.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't really feel like I need to talk about Lamar too much more, just because I feel like all the points are out of the way. But this guy is 9th in passing, 6th in rushing. There's nothing Lamar Jackson cannot do. Yeah. He can stretch the ball down the field. He can take it himself. Man doesn't fumble either. Usually quarterbacks that take it like that have issues with fumbles. I think he's probably the best scrambling quarterback in the NFL currently. And you can make an argument for a couple other players. Really, the only other person you can make an argument for is Kyler. Russell Wilson, maybe, if he wasn't hurt. but I would say Lamar Jackson is number 1 when it comes to that.
Yeah, I don't think that's
and
much of a question.
He is my number 3 when it comes to the MVP race.
My number 3 is Kyler Murray, who you just brought up. I could see him being higher, honestly, but it does hurt a little that he didn't play in the last game. That does hurt his stats a little. But that aside, and he also didn't play. He didn't have his best game the last time he played, Week 8 against Green Bay. Obviously, that one interception was not his fault. That was A.J. Green being fucking stupid. That kind of slipped. But he still had 0 touchdowns in that game. But something I've seen for him this year is he really has not had a rushing attack like he has in previous years, which is both a good and bad thing. Because on the good side, they don't have to rely on him that much in the rushing game, which minimizes his chance for injury. But I mean, that threat is still there, which definitely contributes to some of his passing numbers.
Also, a great reason why he doesn't rush so much like he used to is because the offensive line has played well.
Yeah, the offensive line for the Cardinals has played outstanding.
Everything pretty much for the Cardinals has been.
Everything has just gone right.
Like I said, this guy is the same guy that is on Ben's 3rd for MVP, but also has James Conner taking 10 touchdowns away from him.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest factor, though, Kyler Murray has great stats, but the biggest factor in him being up this high for me is just that he's winning games. I mean, he's won a lot of them. They're not 9-1. They're 8-1. Yeah, they're 8-1 because they haven't had their bye yet.
Yep.
And Kyler Murray started for 7 of those wins. Kyler Murray 7-1 as the starter, putting up amazing numbers. They could have easily been 9-1, or they could have easily been 8-1 or 9-0. Honestly, yeah, 9-0 if AJ Green didn't do that.
Do that, yeah.
I don't even know how to describe what he did, but do that. But yeah, Kyler Murray is my number 3.
My number 2 is the person I really just don't. I just want to get him out of here. He needs to get out of here. This guy needs to retire. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady is arguably number 1, but I think Ben and I might have the same number 1. I think that's pretty safe. This dude is crazy because you don't need to look where he ranks among other quarterbacks for him. You just kind of need to look at his stats because his stats are incredible, but it's not just that. His ball distribution is great. Mike Evans is up there for receiving touchdowns, and Chris Godwin's up there for receiving yards. He gets the ball to Antonio Brown still. Not really Scotty Miller much, but you know, last year everybody thought Scotty Miller was due to break out because of Tom Brady. But this guy is crazy. He is just crazy. Tom Brady's on pace for about 4,300 yards, 50 touchdowns, 10 picks. He's just unbelievably good. He could win MVP. I think it's very safe to say he could win MVP. But he's not my number 1. There's only one person ahead of him.
You know, Ethan? We actually don't have the same number 1. I have Stafford at 2.
You have Matt? Okay, Matt Stafford
I have Matt Stafford at 2. I know you. I'm not going to talk about him too much because I know you want to talk about him. But, I mean, Matthew Stafford, I think a lot of people expected this going into the year. I've never been... I sometimes didn't like some of the people that supported Stafford in the past because, it was true what they were saying about, him, not ever being on a good team, and he would be a lot better, more recognized if he was. I never disagreed with that. That's always been true. I just thought that it was kind of annoying. I want to, see the player do it, and Matthew Stafford has done it. The Rams are 7-2. He did not have a good game a couple nights ago against Tennessee, but that aside, he's really had almost a flawless year aside from that one game. Really, look at his numbers. They're insane. He has what are his stats? He has a 23-6 touchdown to interception ratio, 2,771 yards. It leads the league in yards. The Rams are 7-2. He's definitely going to be a Super Bowl contender. All in all, I can definitely see how you have him at your number 1. But I'm going to let you talk about him a little.
Okay, so my number 1 is Matt Stafford, and I assume yours is Tom.
Yeah,
yours is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So we swapped there, but I like I said, Tom Brady could very well win MVP. It's not a bad pick at all. Same with Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford has one of the best teams. This is one of the best teams in the NFL. Rams, I think I made it very clear on the podcast. They're my Super Bowl favorites. They're my everything. I think they're the best team in the league. I know 7-2, kind of on a bit of a slump after the Titans game. No one thought they were going to lose. And Matt Stafford, that was easily his worst game of the season.
Easily.
The guy was also sacked 5 times that game.
Yeah.
Getting sacked 5 times by the Titans is really a concern.
They have like one of the worst pass rushes in the league. How did that happen?
Yeah,
I'm like looking at that. How did that happen?
They've played some pretty weak pass rushers over the time, except for when they played like Tampa Bay. I guess you could say Indianapolis week 1 against Chicago. I mean Khalil Mack doesn't do much anymore statistically, and Arizona, who they lost to, but he didn't even get sacked once. It's just this game, offensive line let up like crazy. But overall, Matthew Stafford, this is going to be the week to. This is not the week to remember. He's going to be incredible. I mean, he's already been incredible. But I'll let you talk about Brady a little bit.
Right.
I wish you would have told me that your number 1 was Brady, because I wouldn't have.
Well, I mean that adds to the surprise. But yeah, my number 1 is Tom Brady. I mean, you covered a lot of stuff, but I still want to talk about him. 25-5 touchdown to interception ratio. That is absolutely insane to me. Even without the extra game, he'd be on pace for 50 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. When you were calculating the statistics, you didn't even include the extra game.
Yeah,
you said like 50 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That wasn't even with the extra game.
Yeah, it was. I'm thinking about 50 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. You think more? You think he's going to throw for more than 40 or than 5,300 yards?
Dude, he's only played 8 games. He has 8 more. Or he has 7 more.
7.
He has 9 more. 9 more. He has 9 more. So he's on pace.
So technically he's on pace for about 52.
Yeah.
Like 52 is crazy still. Yeah, I mean, it's still not the record. He won't break his own record.
I think honestly, this might be this might be a little bit of a hot take. I think this could be Tom Brady's best season ever. Even without the extra game.
The guy is 100 at this point, right?
Yeah. Also, I'm looking at his page. I did not know his nickname was the Pharaoh.
Yeah, the Pharaoh.
When has he been called that?
I don't know. I always see that though when I'm looking at a Pro Football Reference. I always see what is it? It's the Pharaoh and like the kid or something.
Comeback kid.
The comeback kid. Like this guy isn't 1,000 years old.
Tom Brady, I honestly think by watching him, this is genuinely the best version of him, which is absolutely terrifying.
That is terrifying.
That is terrifying.
This guy's career has only went up the older he's gotten. And
it really has.
It usually is that way. It's like about to 28 to 35, I'd say, is the prime of a quarterback in the NFL. I mean, recently it's been the younger guys. But look at Matt Stafford, who's my number 1. He's 33 years old, and this is his best season ever. But he's also not on the Detroit Lions.
That is true.
So my top 5 are definitely actually very different from Ben's.
Yeah.
I didn't have Kyler or Josh Allen on there.
And I didn't have Mahomes.
Or Cooper Kupp. But my 5 were Pat Mahomes, Cooper Kupp, Lamar, Tom Brady, and Matt Stafford.
And mine were Josh Allen, Lamar, Kyler, Matt Stafford, and Tom Brady. So that wraps up our ladder. Now we're going to move on to the section we do every week, our game picks. And starting with a game that takes place tomorrow, the Ravens versus the Dolphins.
What are we going to talk about this one? How are we going to make this game interesting?
I don't know, Ethan.
Who's even good on the Dolphins?
All I know is that the last time the Dolphins played the Ravens, it was not pretty. If you remember that game, that was the start of Lamar Jackson's MVP campaign, where he threw 5 touchdowns.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens as well.
Lamar Jackson, if he's going to have another MVP game to make him even higher on my list, this is definitely it. Because Dolphins are bad. They are bad team.
Yeah.
Terrible. Maybe the worst in the NFL.
Probably. I think they are.
They may be.
And they don't have their first round pick.
Don't have their first round pick. You know who has it?
The Eagles.
Friggin' Eagles.
Eagles are going to have 3 top 10 picks.
The Giants' division rival. That's nice.
That is very nice.
I really don't have much to say about that game. I'm sorry, guys. Ravens are going to beat the Dolphins tomorrow. If the Dolphins here, I'll make it a little interesting. The Dolphins win. What should I do?
I don't know, Ethan.
I'll make a one-sided bet with our fans.
Sure. What are you going to do?
If the Dolphins win, I will wear a suit my nicest suit and I'll jump into a pool.
Sure.
But if the Dolphins lose, you guys have to go follow our Instagram.
Okay.
At Blitz
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah. All right. A nice little bet to start off the game picks. A one-sided bet. Next up, we're going to have the Saints versus Titans. This is a little bit of a better game, even without Jameis.
Titans could very well be the best team in the AFC. Just from what we've seen. I mean, do I think they are? No, but
I don't think they are.
But they very well could be. And if they beat the Saints here, what does it really prove? Saints are the team that lost to the Giants, but also beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Or, like what's this team?
I don't know. They're a very hard team to tell what they are.
I'll give you three teams: Browns, Chiefs, Saints. I have no clue.
You just don't.
Teams
You just
I
don't
really
know.
Just don't know about, man.
I'd throw probably the Falcons in there too.
I mean, they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose this week. Last time they played them,
Yeah.
they blew a lead.
I remember.
It was like an onside kick. CeeDee Lamb caught it. All that stuff.
We'll get into that game later though.
Saints Titans though. Titans don't have the best player in the league, maybe, in Derrick Henry, which is real tough on them. But who do I want to take in this game? I'm gonna take the Titans. Who are you gonna take?
I was gonna take the Saints.
All right, perfect.
I think I'd like to see
love it.
Taysom Hill get a bigger role though. Honestly, I mean they're paying him money. Why don't you give him a role?
Yeah, they are. He has a contract.
He
right?
has a big. He's an actual
contract.
contract. He's making like $10 million a year.
Yeah. Titans. I mean, they just need their players to play.
Yeah.
Like Tannehill, we've seen he could be good. He's thrown like 8 picks this season. He hasn't been great. But this is such a through the air offense now that Derrick Henry is gone. I mean, Adrian Peterson, what's he really gonna do? Then passing on the Saints is probably honestly the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go against the Saints defense, because their run stop, especially against Adrian Peterson, it should be really.
Oh my goodness! Look at this next game, Ethan.
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans.
I'm taking the Saints, but I kind of want to talk about this next game.
Of course.
The return of Mike White.
Just a reminder, Jets last time they played a team in their division, they lost. Or they lost by like 50. They let up 50.
Yeah.
Points. Yeah.
Who do you have in this game, Ethan?
Well, Bills are coming off a loss, and I might have to. No, I'm kidding. It's the Bills.
It's the Bills. These games suck.
I'll take the Bills by. I'll take the Bills by at least 17.
I mean, what's the point spread for that? Let's check out the point spread. Bills versus Jets. If I was giving like a point spread like betting wise, I would definitely put like.
You would take the 17.
I don't know, honestly.
That's a tough one. That's why I said
it's
so
minus
high.
It's minus 13. So it's a 13.
I'm gonna take the 17. I'll bet extra money.
Yeah, geez, these matchups this week. I mean, they're just not good. But sometimes they turn into like being good. But
I feel like this next game's gonna be good for no reason.
Oh yeah, this will be good. By the way, I am taking the Bills on that game. If that was not clear enough. But next up, we have the Lions versus the Steelers. Steelers coming off of a tough win.
Lions coming off their first week without a loss this season.
Yeah.
It was a bye week.
And I don't think they're getting it this week. I don't think they're getting their first one this week.
Neither do I.
I mean, the Steelers. Not to say the Steelers are a good team at all. I think the Steelers.
They're much better.
Oh yeah, they have.
They are middle of the pack. The Steelers.
They're middle of the pack, yeah.
But Lions are bottom of the pack.
Lions are the worst team in the league. When we said the Dolphins were the worst team in the league, they're not. It's the Lions.
I don't think the Lions are the worst team in the league.
I think they are.
I don't think so. I think the Texans are the worst team in the NFL.
All right, that's interesting. I mean, definitely a possibility. That's definitely the bottom 3.
You think you'd put the Jets over the Dolphins?
Yeah, I would. It's gotten to that point. I mean, the Jets beat the Bengals.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, maybe. I'm okay with that. Steelers is who I'm taking.
I'm taking the Steelers as well.
At least we'll know that the Steelers aren't going to absolutely tear apart the O-line of the Lions, because the Lions' O-line isn't too bad.
Next up, we have the Colts game. Did I predict them right last week?
Let me check. Colts. Colts, Jets. Yeah, you picked the Colts.
So 2 in a row.
Oh, no. I think you may have taken the Jets.
Oh, I did.
You took the Jets.
I did.
Because you're wrong. Because you're stupid.
All right, I took the Jets. I took the Jets. So I'm now 1-8 so far this year.
1-8 with the Colts.
Am I going to go 1-9?
You predicted the 49ers game, I think, right?
No, it was the one I did with my dad.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm the Colts curse.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts.
I am also going to take the Colts.
Really? I thought you were just going to go with the opposite.
No, I can't. I mean, I could. I could, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take the Colts. It's a safer pick. And
yeah.
I like to be a little dangerous sometimes.
But this isn't one of them.
This isn't the time.
All right. Both going Colts. Let's see if the curse continues. Next up.
A wild card rematch.
Oh, yeah.
Heineke Brady.
This game was surprisingly close last year in the wild card, and I honestly think it could be surprisingly close this time around. Washington versus the Bucs.
I think it's not going to be. I think Washington's a significantly worse team this year.
Yeah,
I don't know why. There's not much of a difference.
Well, I know why. It's the defense. That's why.
Well,
there's a clear answer.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't know why because it's the same defenders.
Yeah,
they just really
maybe they overachieved. I honestly don't know. But even when you say they overachieved, they have a lot of talent on that team.
They do. What is Chase? They have one of the best defensive lines.
What has Chase Young really done?
Great DBs. Yeah, how has Chase Young been?
I mean, Chase Young, he's been. I mean, he unrightfully won Rookie of the Year last year. I think we can both agree on that.
I think definitely Jeremy Chin.
But this year, what has he done? He has 1.5 sacks.
1.5 sacks.
Seriously, 1 forced fumble. I guess that's nice. That's all he's done. He has 1 forced fumble and 1.5 sacks.
1.5 sacks from your former second overall pick.
Jesus, that is not good.
That is bad. That's not even not good. That's bad.
That's terrible.
That is bad. That is backup type stuff.
It really is. But yeah, I'm taking I do think this game could somehow be close, but I'm taking the Bucs.
I'm also going to take the Buccaneers.
Next up, Browns versus the Patriots. This is a close game.
Not for me.
For me, it is.
Who are you going to take?
I don't.
I'll go first.
Nick Chubb may be out of this game. Just to let you know. I don't know why, but I'm gonna take the Browns, but I could easily see the Patriots winning this game.
You're gonna take No, I can't pick the Patriots just because I don't like them. It's bias. It's full bias. I'll admit it. I don't like the Patriots. I'm taking the Browns as well. I don't like the Browns either, but I like them more than the Pats.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns. Even if Nick Chubb's not playing, I think Odell really was a distraction on that team.
Yeah.
Whether you like him or not, it's better for him to be off that team.
What would be awesome. Patriots pick up Odell right before they play.
Oh, that would be insane.
That would be awesome. But it doesn't look like for anybody who doesn't really know details about the Odell thing going on right now. He got released, and I think it just happened a couple hours ago. He got fully released.
Yeah. No, it happened a couple of days ago.
No.
But he just cleared waivers.
Yeah, cleared waivers.
Yeah, but he was released.
It is right now between the Chiefs, Packers, and
Green Bay. Oh yeah, you sorry.
Chiefs, Green Bay, and
New England.
I'm not sure.
I think New England's had some contact with him. Seattle too.
Seattle, I'm pretty sure, was maybe the last one.
Yeah, but honestly, it's up in the air right now. Who's going to sign him?
Yeah. I'd love to see the Patriots sign him.
So would I.
That'd be awesome.
Regardless of that, Baker, despite him being really inconsistent, he can be a good quarterback when he needs to be. Maybe not the best quarterback, but he can be a good quarterback that wins football games. He's shown that he can make it work in the past with limited receivers. I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones has really stepped it up in the past couple of weeks. He always finds people open. That's what he does, and he wins games. I'm taking the Browns.
I'm taking the Browns, but you know what? Just for some entertainment purpose, I'm going to take the Patriots if they end up getting Odell. So if you come back to this video, and if they take Odell and they play the Browns with Odell, I'm right.
All right. Moving on, we have the Falcons versus the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys as well.
It's the most fake best offense versus probably the best offense in the league.
Yeah, the best I mean, after last week, who knows?
I mean,
are they really the best offense anymore?
Are we talking about the Falcons or the Cowboys?
Oh my God! Yeah, the Cowboys. The Cowboys. I mean, how do you lose to the Broncos?
I really think the Cowboys are going to win.
I think they're going to win.
I'm not going to play it off like this is going to be a game that I think is
No, I don't think this will be close.
Yeah, I don't.
This is not. There's some games that I think will be close this week. This isn't one of them.
Cowboys defense can somewhat stop the Falcons offense in a way. Like they're not going to stop them, but they can slow them down a little bit. Falcons defense is not.
Yeah,
capable
it's
of
literally
stopping anything.
one of the best offenses, maybe the best versus the worst defense.
The Patriots offense would drive on the Falcons defense right now, and Patriots
Speaking of
probably
that,
have the worst.
Speaking of that,
game.
they play next week on Thursday Night Football.
That's gonna be so fun.
Patriots Falcons
That's gonna
again.
be so fun.
That's gonna be fun. Yeah.
That sucks for you. Panthers Cardinals this next game. I'm gonna take the Cardinals. You can go ahead and take Panthers, but I know
I might actually have to go against my team for the first time.
You're gonna have.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
Have you taken the Panthers every week?
Yeah.
You're so funny. I'm a Giants fan, so I know that they're just not gonna win. But I know I probably didn't take them last week. At least Giants won't lose this week, but they won last week. But yeah, I chose Raiders last week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, but they have probably, besides the Cowboys, one of the best offenses in the league. Kyler's probably coming back. Their defense is insane. Yeah, it's gonna be the Cardinals. I mean, Darnold's not even playing, which may help the team. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm curious to see how PJ Walker does. I don't have high expectations. I know he won last year against the Lions, but first of all, it's the Lions. Second of all, I just don't have high expectations for him. That was one game. I don't think he's gonna be like. I don't think he's gonna be like how he is in the XFL, like some Panthers fans like to say.
Yeah.
Panthers fans think that he's gonna magically revert to back how he was in the XFL, but except in the NFL, which is like 10 times or 100 times harder.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals in this game.
Yeah, me too. And two teams I think are very similar.
I disagree with that.
I think they're very similar. Vikings and Chargers.
You see, I disagree with that. I think the Vikings are pretenders. The Chargers can actually contend for something.
I think they're very similar rosters.
Maybe
I
rosters.
think a lot of their players are very similar.
Okay, maybe their rosters are similar, but the Chargers are able to put it together while the Vikings aren't.
They both have one polished route running kind of yards guy at receiver, and then they have a touchdown machine at the other one.
Mm-hmm.
They have not a similar quarterback at all. Not a similar line really. Chargers probably have the best O-line pass block.
It's amazing. They've went from the worst O-line in the league to the best.
They at least have the best.
It's very rare you see anything in the NFL where it's truly worst to first in 1 year.
Yeah, they at least have the best pass blocking O-line in the NFL.
Great run blocking too.
Yeah,
but the pass blocking is really where they stand out. I mean, I still don't get why the Packers let go of Corey Linsley.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
And I mean, rookie Rashawn Slater has been far and away the best O-lineman. I'm still a little salty the Panthers didn't take him. I love J.C. Horn, but it really comes down to O-line is more of a positional need than corner.
I agree. I am going to take the Chargers, though.
I'm taking the Chargers as well. I mean...
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert would probably be number 8 if we extended on the MVP thing.
Yeah, he'd definitely be in the top 10.
I'd say he's my number 8. Kirk Cousins actually hasn't been bad either. But
he does this every year, though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers for sure. I think they have a better defense and a more capable offense.
I'm taking the Chargers as well.
And if this were 2012, this is going to be a crazy game.
The Jimmy Graham Bowl.
But I do think that he is back, Rodgers.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's back. So Aaron Rodgers is back. Russell Wilson is not.
No, he's not.
So I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Even if Russell Wilson was there, probably taking the
Probably too. I mean, the Packers have been...
They've been incredible.
They might be the best team in the NFC.
They could very well be the best team in the NFL.
I know they lost last week, but they had Jordan Love playing his first career game.
They're probably the best team in the
NFL.
They
probably are.
But I mean, not for me. I still think the Rams are, but I definitely could see why people would think they are the best team.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Green Bay as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Devontae Adams, who's gonna cover him? Even if Aaron Rodgers somehow isn't throwing the ball, who's going to cover Devontae Adams?
Yeah, it's not happening. Especially who's going to stop the run too?
Yeah,
Aaron Jones. They just don't have the pieces.
They really just don't have the pieces. They really just don't have the talent on defense. I mean, they have Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, but aside from that,
yeah.
Actually, wait, I take that back. They do have the talent, but they don't have enough surrounding pieces.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They have the stick-up players, like the Vikings defense.
It's very similar to the Vikings defense.
Is this a game we could split on? Or are we both going to take the Broncos?
I'm taking the Eagles in this one. I'm taking the Eagles.
Perfect. I hate the Eagles. I'm taking the Broncos. These are my two least favorite teams, probably. I hate both of these teams. So this is the most unbiased opinion it could possibly be because I hate these teams so much. I'm taking the Broncos because I think that they're a better team than the Eagles. Coming off of a win against Dallas, too, Eagles are probably pooping themselves. So I'm going to go with the Broncos.
I'm going with Philly. I think these are two terrible teams, except one knows they're bad and one thinks they're good.
That's Broncos think they think
that's what it really comes down to. Both of these teams, I mean, the Broncos may be a slightly better team, but I think matchup-wise, the Eagles have a better matchup. But in terms of pure talent, the Broncos may be slightly better. But if we're being honest, not much separate these two teams in terms of talent. It really just comes down to the fact that the Broncos played the Texans, the Jets, and the Giants to start the year, and they had a lucky win against the Cowboys. They played very good in that game. I'm not gonna dismay that win. It was still a great win, but I don't think they can keep it up. I think they're too inconsistent for that. I think the Eagles will win this game.
I think the Broncos will. Coming off of a win like that, Eagles do not beat Dallas like the Broncos just beat Dallas.
That's true.
If they can just play like that, I mean, who's really gonna go walk all over the Broncos on the Eagles?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, Jalen Hurts is good. He's just inconsistent. He's been really inconsistent this year. Jalen Hurts.
This next game, Chiefs Raiders. It's tough because
this isn't the greatest slate of NFL games, but this genuinely might be the best one.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, Browns Patriots is pretty good.
I mean, Seahawks Packers was supposed to be really good.
It's not good though.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
All right. I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well.
That's smart. I feel like it's smart to take the Chiefs. I know they haven't been the best team this season, but Raiders just lost to the Giants.
Yeah, that is a tough loss to come off of.
Yeah.
A loss to the Giants. How does that happen?
I know
the Panthers
almost lost to the Giants.
We did lose to the Giants.
No, both of these teams almost lost to the Giants.
I can't believe the Chiefs got even. I mean, the Chiefs, they've had these, obviously they've been losing a lot of games more than they do usually, but even in their wins, all their wins are against, the NFC East teams, so they're playing them all.
I know I've said this about pretty much every Chiefs game this season, but expect a high-scoring game here. Raiders have one of the best offenses in the NFL, and Chiefs have one of the worst defenses, vice versa, even though Raiders DBs have been actually really good this year.
Yeah, really.
And Max Crosby has been a highly rated player.
Someone I actually really wanted to talk about today. I was going to talk about him earlier, but I kind of forgot. Yannick Ngakoue has been outstanding this year. Have you seen him play this year?
I haven't watched a lot of Raiders games at all.
I've watched a couple.
I watched last game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Yannick, he's... actually, no, he's not playing as good as I thought. But I guess maybe his stats aren't as good as his impact. But when I watch Raiders games, I always see him making an impact. I guess his stats aren't as good as his impact. But I'm like I was saying before, when I'm watching the games, I really do see him making an impact. I see him...
Still has 6 sacks.
Yeah, still has...
Here's interesting, though. All of his sacks...
Yeah, they're in 3 games.
...are in 3 games, and it's 2-2-2.
Yeah, that is interesting. So maybe those were the games I watched.
In recent weeks.
Maybe those were the games I watched then.
Yeah, that could very well be it. Because I remember he dominated against the Giants.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense. So, the next game...
In the final game, Rams-Niners.
My Super Bowl favorite versus a team that has had a losing record both seasons since they almost won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, sucks to be the 49ers, but I'm taking the Rams. I think they're the best team in the NFL.
I'm taking the Rams as well. I mean, I was really high on the 49ers to start the year. I don't think I measured the amount of... I think I kind of downplay the amount of impact their quarterback situation would have on how they play. Their defense is playing fine. The defense is not the problem at all. I think I didn't consider that. I mean, obviously I considered it a problem, but I didn't think it would be this much of a problem. I don't know why they keep on flipping the quarterbacks. And I would say just start Trey Lance, honestly.
Yeah, I think there's been 2 or 3 games this season where I have said, if they start Lance, I'm going to say that they're winners, but this isn't one of them because Rams are beating them anyways.
Whoever they have at quarterback.
There's pretty much nothing the 49ers at this point can do to beat the Rams, even if they were to pick up OBJ or something like that, because you can't really trade. Rams are going to win this game.
The Rams are going to win this game, yeah.
San Fran's O-line is okay. It's pretty good. Rams have the best D-line in the NFL. They have Von Miller and Aaron Donald.
He said it. We got a single episode about mentioning his name.
Yeah, they have Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald. Oh, do I have to do this? Do I have to get on my knees for Aaron Donald real quick? Aaron Donald is so good. I mean, yeah, his season this season, honestly, like it's all right, but it's not even that great. But he's a player you need to watch, and I'm pretty sure everyone watches Aaron Donald, and especially this week because they're Monday Night Football.
I'm so excited. Von Miller didn't play last week. I'm so excited to see him play in prime time with Aaron Donald. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, it really is.
If the Cardinals didn't fix up their O-line, Rams are going to go crazy on them next time. And the poor Seahawks, division rivals, are going to have to just deal with that because they just can't block. And they don't have Russell Wilson back there. But who knows when Russell Wilson will come back. Probably in a couple weeks.
Yeah, but it's too late by then for playoffs.
Yeah, probably.
That wraps up our game picks, though.
And I think that also wraps up the podcast.
Yes, it does.
So tell us what you guys want us to do, because we'll pretty much do anything. I was thinking about some fun things we can do, and if you just kind of want to go to our Instagram, leave it in the comments or something, DM us. We'll check the DMs.
At NanoBlitz Podcast.
Yeah, at NanoBlitz Podcast. We take suggestions. We could do quizzes. Ben and I love doing those little quizzes like that. We'll do whatever. Ben and I will pretty much do whatever you ask us to do as long as it's football related.
Jeez, and you might really have to jump in the pool of a suit if the Dolphins.
That'll be posted on the Instagram. Only way you're gonna be able to see that is on the Instagram.
Yeah,
there won't be an audio from it on the podcast. That would be
stupid.
Live. I'm in a suit. So that about wraps it up.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Panthers suck. Giants suck.
Falcons,
Patriots suck.
Falcons suck.
And
the Broncos suck.
Broncos the worst team ever.
All right, bye guys. Thank you guys for staying until the end. See you guys next time.